rabosoko, mahanda akasata, reke yamanda raboko sokota, ronda yakande eke seke la mama manda rabakase, meta rabakande la babakaso, yalamana niana no, sakayato yakande, yamakato yabatadia city akano yakatara city. Power!
I think the tunnels go all the way to Gaza from Giza, and some of the Hamas tunnels are ancient, hence war for the Holy Land.
I think that the pyramids are some kind of bodega based on watching Zawi Hawass yell at Rogan on his, like a bodega owner. My friend, Bobby.
There's
the
your answer.
You heard it here first.
Bodegas, yeah.
There it is. Thank you. This is not the 21st century. And now back to Keaton and Kurt.
All righty. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show, everybody. Keaton and Kurt here in for Jimmy while he is on the road this week. All right. Want to give you some background on this segment here because our friend David Hogg got himself into even more trouble this week by mentioning this in front of a rolling camera. But let's fill you in on what we're talking about here. So it is not a very well kept secret in Washington, D.C. that Nancy Pelosi is an absolute boss when it comes to luckily picking stocks. Nancy Pelosi's portfolio beats top hedge funds with not 54% gains in 2024.
Not Dan Crenshaw. She don't beat Dan Crenshaw, believe it or not.
Oh, really? He's number one?
Dan Crenshaw beats her, yeah. Well, last I checked, maybe she's come up now.
Huh. Well, same dynamic there, right? Insider knowledge that comes with being in Congress, because these top money managers are almost impossible to beat, but she beats them every year. So this was a report from January of 2025 saying, yep, in 2024, sure enough, she beat the top hedge funds in America with 54% gains. The Nancy Pelosi stock tracker account on X.com, formerly Twitter, recently posted that California representative's investment portfolio returned 54% in 2024, beating the popular Inverse Kramer account's 43% gains to become the top portfolio on the Autopilot investment app. The Inverse Kramer tells you to do the opposite of what CNBC's financial advisor Jim Cramer tells you to do. The team behind the Pelosi tracker created Autopilot. It helps investors mimic the trades of popular hedge fund managers and politicians. Pelosi's portfolio gains also beat top hedge funds, which spend vast amounts of money hiring top quantitative analysts and data scientists to build leading AI and machine learning models to maximize profits, but they can't do it as well as Nancy. So a couple weeks later, it came out Nancy Pelosi's husband sold a boatload of NVIDIA stock right before it was eviscerated by Chinese startup.
She just flew to Taiwan, and when that happened, did she not? She had that weird trip to Taiwan, and China was like, don't come to Taiwan, Nancy Pelosi.
I did not hear of that. Maybe I don't recall it, but yeah, I certainly believe it. Yeah. This was from July of 2022. Nancy Pelosi's husband buys over $1 million of computer chip stock weeks before vote on industry subsidies. In 2021, famous quote here. We play this a lot on our show. Nancy Pelosi was asked if Congress should be banned from trading stocks. Her response, no, this is a free market. That's right.
Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to this second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock, on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review, but if people aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market and we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
They should be able to participate in that. Again, just totally lost on her is the idea that when you serve in government, you're supposed to be a public servant, right? You're supposed to forego participation in the free market of that kind.
She probably works for the CIA that probably controls the stock market. Did you see what I sent you? The mad money of Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, no, I didn't. Did you?
Yeah, it's a 1 minute thing of Nancy Pelosi.
I wish I had that. Maybe we'll get into that
batshit money. I sent it to you. Put it up.
on Monday.
People aren't reporting, they should be.
Why do you think
Because this is a free market and people, we're a free market economy.
Free market economy. We got the right to participate. Well, David Hogg, who is in hot water, they're going to vote on whether or not to remove him in June. He was recently the victim of a Project Veritas sting operation. Here he is explaining to the camera person unwittingly that, yeah, of course, the Pelosi stock profiteering stinks to high heaven.
You think it's ironic that to the regular Democratic Party, he was beginning to sound more and more like a school shooter?
She's actually very good at her job. I don't agree with the stock.
He's becoming the lonely, young, single man.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him. Yeah,
we got to burn it down.
Yeah,
Have a
that's true. Yeah. He's like Joaquin Phoenix now. All of a sudden, that's him to the Democratic Party now. Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
I would say Pelosi's actually very good at her job. I don't agree with the stock trading stuff. I mean, she gets better returns than almost every hedge fund in this city. Every year. Some of these members of Congress make trades that are like way too well timed to not have like insider knowledge. They happen to be some of the best financial analysts in human history.
Have you spoken against that?
I've talked to them in the past, but it's also like, I know that if I pick that fight, it's going to be harder for us to get gun control passed. So I pick my path. Like the hardest part.
Spoiler alert: you haven't
Great
gotten
job.
gun control passed anyway. That's the Democrats for you. Yeah.
Is that the hill you want to die on? That's what's wrong with everything. Is these idiots all think like that?
Oh yeah, and I gotta say, man, like I can't imagine. I know he's a young guy, but like, the knives are out for you, right? Like, why would you be just talking like this in a coffee shop?
He's a construct. His dad, I can't remember who his dad worked for, but when I say construct, I mean like an industry plant type of thing, or where somebody's an influencer out of nowhere,
right?
And they're young, and their dad's some rich guy involved. His dad's somebody in either FBI or something, and like how Taylor Swift is a bullshit construct. It's not, industry plant. The kids call it. That's what he is.
Right.
About my job, I just want to burn everything down because it's all so corrupt. But you got to pick your battles and slowly build your momentum.
Yeah.
This goes on for
Joining us now, DNC Vice Chair David Hogg.
We're not going to go after Pelosi. One, we wouldn't beat her, even if we wanted to. That's part of it. But two, it's an unnecessary fight to pick when there's other members that are far weaker. And I would say Pelosi's actually very good at her job. I don't agree with the stock trading stuff.
You don't?
No. Some of these members of Congress make trades that are like way too well timed to not have like insider knowledge about it. And it's a huge problem.
Do you think that's how Pelosi is worth hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yes. I mean, she gets better returns than almost every hedge fund in this city. Every year.
And you don't think that has to change?
No, it does.
How would you change that?
You just ban members of Congress from owning stock.
So
have to put their assets in a blind trust.
You're going to prop up candidates who oppose that? Is that your goal, to prop up candidates?
I mean, in part, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a long haul. There's 435.
Now, I mean, at this point, I don't know how you don't start to suspect that maybe you're being recorded or maybe something's not right. He just keeps asking him like open-ended question after question. Yeah, exactly.
Well, would you like to sign here? I'd love to sign. Remember, I have anal warts.
Yeah, exactly. Like by now, you would think, his alarm bells would be going off.
Members.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're going. Yeah, the guy keeps pushing.
By the time he ages to understand, it's interesting because you get to see how much is like on purpose and whatever with him.
Yeah,
and you're like, by the time he hits the age where he gets it, you've aged out of the demographic. Everybody gives a shit. That's why they want these young. Like these new young leader with their backstory of whatever. That's what they're trying to promote. Yeah. And it's all like AOC is one of the best prototypes, or Justin Trudeau, these young, hotter leaders.
Right.
And they're all like bullshit influencers. And it's they might as well be in a boy.
Well, maybe he figures he's got some Nigerian prince money coming his way, and that's why he can afford to speak this loosely, because he seems gullible enough.
I wouldn't normally say this.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally say this.
I just invested in a gold mine in Colombia, so I can.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, can you give me a ride to the Western Union after this? I got to pick up a wire transfer for $300,000.
They can get me the money, but I gotta get him $3,000 right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and most likely 430 of them are doing the same thing, which is why they don't want to. I don't know, but I'm just stating.
I think it's a pretty good guess.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Just conveniently. They happen to be some of the best financial analysts in human history.
Have you spoken against that?
I've talked to you, but it's also like, I know that if I pick that fight, it's going to be harder for us to get gun control passed. So I have to pick my battle. Like the hardest part about my job is I just want to burn everything down because it's all so corrupt. But you got to pick your battles and slowly build your momentum.
That's right.
He's still a school shooter, dude.
He's in the
school shooter.
He is in the club now. He's in the club, and that just gives you a snapshot of the way a lot of these people really think. And because he's so young and so naive, they were able to get him on camera saying this stuff. I can't imagine at this
person
point.
I've seen exposed by Project Veritas. Here's the irony: all that stuff he said that's true. That's what's going to get him kicked out of being in the DNC.
Of course, yes, of course, that's what's going to get him kicked out. You can't
I don't
say
really
that.
object to what he's saying, other than the being a punk about it and picking your battles, because the time for that is past. We're at World War III almost.
Right.
The time for that, like, save up your political capital and keep your relationship with power. That is everybody stupid? It's over.
Well, this is what people don't get, and this is what people who work in these environments don't get, and this is how the sort of PMC insulates itself, not even consciously. They insulate themselves by way of practicing politics in this way, living in Washington, only talking with kinds of people who are privy to the inner sort of machinations of this. Like, that's the only world
Would you say?
live in.
Would you say it sounds like a breakaway civilization, except, not on Mars?
Well, yeah.
Right here on
I mean,
Earth?
that is essentially what it is. I mean, when you look at the class divide between the top 1% and everybody else, and then you parse it further, the top 20%, and you can parse it even further than that. The top, 32%, 37%, what is it? 63% of people can't afford $1,000 quick cash emergency. If the brakes go, I can't afford to fix the brakes. That's most of the country. And then you have this crop who lives like this, and they are completely insulated from the consequences of how they go about doing politics. Like, it is it's completely naive to, I wish we could burn it all down, but we have to work within the system in order to get gun control passed. What gun control they pass? Like, even on your own terms, what reward did you get for playing ball? And now that this is out, they're going to make up some bullshit about how we violated the gender diversity rules, but that's nonsense. This is why he's got to go. And at this point, he's got to go. I would be absolutely shocked if he stays.
Yeah, absolutely. Misha says you got to play the thing or add it or something. What did you? I don't understand what you texted me, Misha, but
what did
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, you want me to play Kurt's Pelosi video?
This is done again, but we made this a long time ago.
Oh,
I want to dedicate it to young David Hogg.
Oh, this is your video? You just texted it to me 5 minutes ago. You didn't text it to me earlier today, right?
I forgot about it until you brought up her amazing, because her saying people can participate in the market was what.
Oh, got it. Okay, all right. Hang on.
It's her Jim Cramer show.
Yeah, let me look this up. Hold on, we can edit around this when we clip it here. Okay, let's do. Oh wow. Okay. All right. How Nancy? Okay, I'm just gonna search for it now. I'll screen share it. No problem.
Yeah, this is his Nancy Pelosi. I think is a pretty fine Pelosi.
Okay. All right. So this is Kyle Dunnigan. Okay, beautiful. All right, we will make this happen right now. Then you guys can edit this in however you want. That's up to you. Okay. Here we go. Full screen there. Volume check here. Come back here. Screen share here. All right, here we go. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so set this up, Kurt. What is this again?
Nancy Pelosi stock trading show. This was before the Ukraine war.
Okay, got it. Here we go.
You're back with me, Nancy Pelosi, just in time for the lightning round.
That was easy.
There should probably be a law against Congress people trading stocks, but we just haven't gotten around to it. Okay, let's get back in. Hank from Toledo, you're on.
Booyah, Nancy.
Booyah.
I read your husband bought Google just before the antitrust bill vote. You guys made $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So was that like luck? Or...
Yes, it was a miracle. Thank you, George Floyd. Okay, Mark from Illinois.
Booyah, Nancy.
Booyah.
Hey, should I hold on to my Tesla position before the EV bill passes?
Sell.
That was easy.
A little birdie told me I'll be voting the other way.
Great tip.
You newbies at home, don't be discouraged. I lost a lot of money in the market, but things really turned around when I started making lures. When we come back, I'm gonna jingle all my jewelry in your face. You'll like it. I shoot my show alone in my...
All right, that's the Kyle Dugin show. Yeah, that was cool. That was good.
He picked that. He has some weird vocal range, so he had started doing Pelosi. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it, and like it was like all day we're like watching her, and then he went in a room and came out and did this funny ass thing.
That was good stuff. All right, I'm going to set this up separately. You might want to